I like the cuff in your pants though. It's
Thank you.
nice.
I think we should talk about the importance of green pants.
You know what? Actually, you want to talk about something important? It's laundry day.
Mm.
And that's why, like, when you came over earlier and I was loading up the car,
Yeah.
we were going to the laundromat.
Okay.
So this is my laundry fit. The green pants, I whip these out once a month when I do laundry.
Once a month.
The laundry machine's broken here, so we go to the laundromat.
Mhm.
This is Saved by the Bell shirt. Never seen the show, but a lot of people like the shirt. So,
Fire.
and the beanie is just the lack of hair situation right now. But we're working on that part. So, and it is kind of warm down here.
Enjoy the episode.
It is. What inspired your fit?
I don't know what inspired my fit. I said, what I did was I threw on white pants,
Mm-hmm.
and then I threw on white socks,
Mm-hmm.
and then I threw on a white shirt. Yeah, and then I looked at my mom and I was like, "Don't worry, I'm not wearing all white. I'm gonna throw on a sweater."
Damn.
And here we are.
It's a pretty aggressive cuff as well.
You
On
never
the
know when
leg.
it's gonna flood. You know, you got to be ready at all times. So, it's either up or down.
Yeah.
But usually I like to cuff them up just in case. You never know, especially since we're recording in a basement. You never know.
This
you know?
basement has flooded before.
Pipe breaks. We'll see who's laughing now.
Pipe breaks.
Not that you gotta worry, right? All your clothes are clean. You guys laundry fit on it. You guys were both thinking ahead.
Welcome back to the Lights Off podcast for our second ever official episode.
Yes.
And today we're going to be diving into the biz.
The biz. The business of acting.
The business of acting and filmmaking, etc.
Exactly. Okay. Let's hop right in.
All right. What do you got for me? It's got to be something good, right?
Okay. Let's start with a general question about the business of acting. In your opinion, what do you think the best way to market yourself as an actor is?
I think that it's like it could be a really deep question because a lot has changed over the years as far as best practices for getting into the industry. I think there's a negative stigma on social media now, especially in the arts. Like something that you've expressed to me before, and I'm sure you'll get into, is like you want to hold a certain reputation and image, and you don't want to, you know, cheap out on social media or like do anything that tarnishes how you could be perceived professionally. I think.
Yeah, I battle with the idea of getting typecasted and wanting to stay away from social media for my own career, or at least I have been trying to. But I think this day and age you kind of have to. I feel like a lot of production companies, casting directors and stuff look for someone who has a following because the business is looking to make money. So they want to make sure that, as bad as it sounds, they want to find someone who can also sell a movie. You know, it's not just about how good you are as an actor and if you can lead a movie, but can you also sell it? And I know that getting that role or something like may open you up to getting lots of followers, you know, like that might come with it, but unfortunately a lot of them look for it beforehand.
It's true. I think a lot of the talent that we look up to nowadays obviously came up 10, 20 years ago when social media wasn't a big thing, and it was very much like the, I guess, preconceived notion of how actors make it. You walk around with a printout of your headshot and your resume, and you like bash through a casting director's door, and you kind of like rip it that way. I think so I think a lot of artists look at that as kind of how they should be doing it now. But something I often go to is that if those people that you look up to were coming up now with you, they would probably be, I mean, they would be using social media as well. Like they would be using whatever resources they had to make it happen for themselves. When you listen to a lot of, when you listen to certain interviews with certain actors, a lot of them tell stories of calling into casting directors, pretending to be their own agent,
Mm-hmm.
going through like kind of doing whatever it took, like sneaking onto sets, doing whatever it took. So that mindset now they'd be doing whatever it took, which would be, you know, unfortunately, fortunately, it's a game of attention and where are the eyeballs? So I don't see a scenario where those people coming up in today's age wouldn't be utilizing social media. I think they would be.
It's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of actors also talk about um, trying to find different ways to break into the industry and what they can do. And specifically, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I heard him on Smartlist talk about the importance of using the technology and social media platforms that you have right now to just create your own movies or your own short films or stuff like that. And I know, and we know from experience that to make a good one still comes with a lot of money and
Yeah.
a lot of effort and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do know what he's saying, and like the fact that we all have cell phones and cameras and stuff. You can make something, and
You can make something.
You can make something.
We've made something.
we have made something. And it might not be the best, but it's also it's right there for you if you want to work on your craft and just be in front of the camera. It doesn't mean it's going to go to Sundance, but it's
Definitely not going to Sundance.
definitely not going to Sundance.
It might not even go to the local theater.
Very true. Very true. It might not even go to YouTube.
Your
YouTube
mom
be
might not
like,
want to watch
"Nah."
it. Yeah. YouTube declines.
Yeah, yeah. They're like copyright for just
Copyright.
terrible film.
Bad stuff, guys. Who wrote this? Who shot this?
But yeah, it's I agree with you. I never thought of it in the way that you said it. That if they were living in today's day and age, they would probably utilize social media as well to their advantage.
Yeah, and to even to parallel industries into music, like we both have friends that create music, and I feel like even more so than actors, a lot of them hate the idea of having to put themselves out there and put all their like record and put their music out there. A lot of them just want to perform. They just want to write music in the room. They don't want to be like in front of the camera every day on Instagram and TikTok and putting themselves out there. And I think there's like a notion that they hope that they'll be at a show and that record label or manager will be there in the show watching them. And even if that like less than 1% chance happens and you're a killer and you're on stage and the stars align, that person, that manager that is going to take you to the next level is going to want to see you on social media. If you pull out your phone, you have 500 followers and you don't post, that's one of the first things they're going to do, because that's just kind of how the game is set up. Unless like you're an anomaly and they can take you and put and like kind of plant everything for you and give you the social media game and like put all the puzzle pieces in place for you. I think they're gonna be like, okay, well, like let's get the social media up. So
It's such a weird dynamic because we see how it was before,
mm-hmm.
and we see like influencers now,
Mm-hmm.
and specifically for me, like as an actor, I've shied away from social media for so long because I just didn't want to typecast myself. I was like, I don't want to, like if you see Logan Paul or something like in a big movie in a dramatic role, like you see a YouTuber that's now a WWE star, like you don't see, it's very hard to see that character.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've shied away from it for so long. Even going into music though, like it is a good point because like artists that are now independent, like Russ, for example, or like any of the artists that are now coming, like a lot of them that are coming up on TikTok are staying independent because they can put out their music whenever they want to. They're not on a schedule. They're not paying a cut to a record label. Like, sure, a record label can get you in the door, but with social media now, like, just putting your music out, like these artists are making a lot of money independently.
Yeah.
And doing a lot of things that record labels just like don't understand how they're doing it.
Yeah. They're a lot older and they're not up to date with everything that's coming out. Like there's a huge advantage to like coming up in this time, and we kind of came up in a gray area where like for the first half of our life there wasn't really social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe when we were in middle school Facebook would started kicking and Snapchat, but like
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of really hit in high school, whereas a lot of the talent coming up now, it's like all they know, so they're just leaning into it full force.
Now that I think about it, yeah, not a lot of people were watching my monologues and stuff on MySpace. I don't know what it is, but I've been posting.
That was you posting those?
I've been posting for a long time.
That was you posting those?
Yeah, that was me.
In the back of class ripping monologues?
Yeah.
What was the
It was math class seat kicker 44. That was my that's what you were gonna ask?
math class seat kicker, yeah.
Yeah, that was my MySpace name.
Okay.
Rebecca hated it. She would just sit in front of me and I'd just kick her.
While you were rapping, or?
Yeah, we're getting off track here.
Okay.
Anyway.
What was the you started posting on social media recently, right?
Recently.
Consistently bankrolling your videos.
And it's
taking
still
it more seriously.
It's still like touchy for me in a way.
Okay.
Like I still.
Should we just cut all this, or?
No. No, it's not touchy in that way. Like I'm not.
Social media is
gonna cry. No, it's like I understand it, but for the longest time I was like, I don't want to get typecasted. I don't want to put myself in that situation. So I was like, what's my niche? Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to make my videos of? And like, it's pretty obvious that the niche has got to be acting, you know, like
you start cooking.
Yeah.
You're like, why isn't no one casting me?
You know, why isn't anybody casting me? I found my niche. Like I'm flipping steaks over here and I'm getting nothing. So no, I realized that, like, obviously my niche is acting, but it was like, what did I want to do with that? Like what people are going to find this entertaining. So I just started sharing more of my work behind the scenes, projects that we've worked on and stuff, hoping that can find an audience, and I can just continue to build and more just be able to share my experience, kind of like we're doing with this, and show off like what it looks like on a day-to-day of working on shows, movies, commercials, whatever it is. And yeah.
And something to keep in mind for you is that you do have a ton of value to provide to people coming up. You know, you might not be an A-list star that's dropping like a how-to act course, but there's like an unlimited amount of people that want to get into the arts, whether that be acting, writing, whatever, anything in the filmmaking industry, and they don't know where to start. Because our world is, I think, so small, and we're kind of narrow. We have like tunnel vision throughout the day and throughout the week. Like we can only focus on so much, but the reality is there's like a ton of people out there that want to even just accomplish some of the things that we've accomplished, you know, which isn't, you know, an Academy Award or anything crazy like that, but you're enough steps ahead of people that haven't done anything yet, or are really starting in the industry, that like you sharing stuff here is super valuable. You sharing your behind the scenes online is super valuable. So I think that's just something important to keep in mind as well. Like,
I appreciate that. Yeah, the key word is starting. I think it's important to help people start, and I feel like that's where I'm at. I feel like I'm still starting. Like I still have a lot to learn. I do have experience, but yeah, hopefully we can show people kind of more how to start.
What was the turning point for you from going on social media and deciding that was something that you wanted to incorporate into your acting career? Was there like a certain moment or a thought process that kind of was like, okay, yeah, we're going to do this now? Like what was that like for you?
It's just wanting to be an actor, wanting to be a full-time actor. I want acting to be my full-time job. I want to share my work. I want to help people grow in the same way that I want to help myself grow. So not only do I want like social media followers, but I want that. Cut that.
He's just using you.
Cut that.
He's just using you.
Cut
He's
that.
just using you.
Like wanting to be an actor full time.
Right.
And wanting to not have to work another job.
Right.
So if I can provide for myself and live a comfortable life through acting, like that's the goal, you know, like A-list to me is just having a nice life, being able to do what I love. So I think that's important to me, and was the big reason why I was like, I've done all this work and I have a lot of experience, so why not share it, get feedback for myself to grow more and learn more and hopefully help other people.
And from the outside looking in, I think a huge advantage to taking social media seriously is your ability to network in general. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's true. If you have 100,000 followers in Blue Check or whatever, if you DM a casting director or a director or an actress that you admire and want to work with, you have a better chance of getting seen in their inbox and getting
Very
responded to. That's just kind of, you know, how it is now. So I think that's definitely a pro as well.
We know that AI and technology in general is becoming a big thing in everyday life, but it's also becoming a big thing in the film industry. Obviously, from my perspective, I don't think that AI can take over acting because it's impossible for artificial intelligence to create completely free emotion and raw emotion, in my opinion. But I wanted to know what your opinion is on AI in the industry, whether it's a positive and negative. Do you think there's any impacts?
I think that it'll hit a sweet spot of being positive, and then I think eventually it will become a negative. Like right now, for example, it hasn't really overthrown everything we do in society and the industry. I know for me, I've been using ChatGPT a lot the past few months, just as like a what?
Cat's out of the bag.
Just as like a thought partner, like helping generate ideas, that sort of thing. It's been useful. And I've been reflecting on that, just using it. I was like, do I like how it's kind of, in some senses, become second nature to go there, ask a question about whatever, and get my information? I think that if you don't keep up with it, you'll be behind and you'll be at a disadvantage. Everyone will be playing at a higher level than you. And if you keep your pride in the way of that, you might just be behind the 8 ball. Now, what does that look like specifically as far as the film industry goes? I know that with the strikes going on recently, one of the things they wanted to deal with was using people's likeness in future projects, which I didn't look into all this, but what I believe part of that meant was if you did background in this show, they can take your face and use you in future shows. And I'm not sure what the pay structure looked like that, but I know people weren't happy about that, rightfully so.
Well, I had that done to me on Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was my first time even hearing about that or knowing what that was. Because I was on set and they were like, hey, we're going to put you in this trailer and we're going to do like an AI full scan of your body.
Talk about why they were even putting you in that situation though.
Okay, so I got put in this situation because Frankenstein is filmed in mainly 2 different locations, mainly Toronto and Scotland. So because I'm from Toronto, it is cheaper for them to do an AI scan of my body and hire an actor in Scotland to play me and then edit my face onto his.
Mm.
So I had some back and forths with casting and stuff, and talking with production when I was there, because I really wanted to go to Scotland. I was
Yeah.
like, I'd love to just be on set there and be a part of that. But they came back and they were like, it is cheaper for us to hire someone local in Scotland and have them play you, and we will scan your face on there
Rather than fly you out and pay
rather
for
than fly
hotel,
me out.
food, everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was my first time experiencing that, and it was like, it's crazy. You're in like a tube, and you're in a tube, and there's like 1,000 cameras, and like all around, like head to toe, and they all just go on at the same time, and they just scan your entire body.
How long did it take?
10 seconds.
Did they have to put anything on your face, like molds or dots or anything, or no?
No, I went in there. I just went in there full costume. They scanned me. It was super hot, like I was sweating. They scanned me and they were like, "See you later." And then I walked outside and Felix Kramer was there, and I said, "You're up."
Did you? What were your thoughts after leaving that? Did you even like think like, oh damn, AI is like really, really jerking me around here, or?
No, I thought it was great. I was like, I can sit at home and hopefully get more screen time.
Mm.
I was like, someone over there is doing my job.
Right, right.
Yeah, unless he comes out to be a phenomenal actor, and then they scan him, and
And
suddenly
then
the film comes out, and I'm
and you're not
going.
even. You're like, that doesn't look like me.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this guy's pretty good over here. Let's scan him and get rid of Liam. Yeah, it could go both ways. You never know.
So on top of the likeness, like the replicating the faces, writing was another big issue. They didn't want AI to just be writing scripts.
Good point.
I'm not sure how long it would take before AI gets to a place where it could write like meaningful script. I think there are positive utilities for it. I could see it getting to a place where it's a no bueno for a lot of people. Something I could see being interesting is performing or TV shows, films, anything like that in the metaverse or VR. I know that's something that people are looking into. I think people have already done AI metaverse performances. I think people have bought real estate in the metaverse.
I've heard that.
So I could see that being a thing where, however many years down the road, actors are taking their talents to VR and there's like immersive experiences. I think that could be cool. I don't know if we need that. I don't know if that's something that we need, but it just seems like there's no like slowing the roll with AI, and I think it'll probably kind of bleed into all categories of life, for better or for worse. But yeah.
I can't afford a house here, but the metaverse.
You're laying outside on the street with your
I'm running hotels
with your $5,000 car.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're a gangster.
I'm just gonna throw on my goggles, and I'm living the life. When I take them off, though, it sucks being on the sidewalk.
When you take them off because you have to eat, or like because you get cold.
Yeah, it's a little bit chilly out there. So, in the business of acting, obviously, production companies are a huge thing. What do you think production companies could do better or worse? Do you think that production companies are starting to take more risks? As we both know, A24 is kind of taking over the industry. Do you have any thoughts on like why you think that is, or what they've been doing well to catch your attention and our attention?
So A24 started as just a distribution company, I believe, right? And then over the past, I don't know how many years, 5-10 years, whatever it is, fact check me, became their own production company and started producing content, much like Netflix, how Netflix was really just a distributor. Netflix was a distributor. I think my lips are dry. Distributor. And then they started producing their own original content. So I think A24 built their brand name around acquiring solid material and putting it out. And now they've just been on a run with, I don't know, it's tough to like say exactly what their success should be attributed to.
I think personally, I think that films um, 5 years ago, maybe a bit more, or recently, have been lacking a lot of like realness.
Mm.
And I think A24 helped bring that out with just having more gritty, real filming styles, cinematic
Mm.
styles, and story styles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's been entertaining, and it's also just more relatable. And I think films that a lot of people can connect to
Mm-hmm.
rather than um, crazy blockbusters with lots of CGI. I think A24 likes to stay to more of like an independent film style,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's appealing to everybody.
They'll also do some obscure stuff and like take bigger chances
Yeah.
on things, which I
Mm-hmm.
think resonates with people. Because, like you said, yeah, the blockbuster, the CGI, I think a lot of that gets repetitive and people got used to it.
Yeah.
And then they see something that they haven't seen in a while or a different type of filmmaking. Like it makes sense that, people gravitate towards that.
And with that, like big production companies are starting to sign deals with streaming services, and that's a whole nother thing. Do you think that because streaming is trying to produce a lot more content, do you think they're taking more risks and chances and bringing in new faces?
I think so. I think definitely. I think um, streamers are, yeah, willing to take risks and willing to go in the red for some projects to like build a catalog of things and get a name going for themselves out there. I think YouTube is, I mean, it's already a direct competitor for Netflix and other streamers just because it's a game of attention. Even if the kid's watching a video game thing, it means that they're not watching the TV show on Netflix. I think YouTube's also getting more into narrative shows and movies. I watched something recently. I'm not sure if you know the YouTube channel Colin and Samir. They cover everything YouTube related and in the industry and from creators. And they went to some YouTube conference semi recently. And yeah, it looks like YouTube's going to be trying to compete more directly with these streamers and creating original content. And they've done that before with like YouTube original movies and stuff like that. But I think even with the way they lay out their platform, um, and with some of the stuff that they're going to be promoting, that they'll be more of a direct competitor. And you might find yourself in a few years watching your favorite TV shows or movies on YouTube, rather than Netflix or Amazon or Apple, whatever.
Can you see YouTube making like a separate platform specifically, kind of like Netflix, where it's easier to navigate?
I feel like my intuition tells me it'll still be YouTube, but
Yeah.
it'll be YouTube TV or YouTube movies.
YouTube
And there
TV.
might already be a YouTube TV tab, but from what I understand, it's going to be um, pushed more seriously in that realm. And there's already so many creators that have made a massive splash as far as in the eyes of traditional production companies, distributors, executives. They're putting out like Hollywood level material on YouTube, and it's getting recognized. Like, so before we started rolling, we watched that short from Wesley Wang just talking about how he got his short film bought by Sony, the rights to it to be developed into a feature film. So essentially, for those listening that don't know, this high school student Wesley Wang made a short film called, I believe, Everything Except Nothing. Cost him about $45,000. He raised the money himself through Indiegogo and private chess lessons. He then submitted it to festivals. The film didn't get in anywhere. So, as a last resort, as he literally said, he tossed it up on YouTube. The thing went viral, caught a lot of industry attention, and a big Hollywood director was interested, reached out to him, sent him an email, asked, what would it take for him to drop out of Harvard? Wesley was like, I've been looking for a reason. And then
Darren
Sony,
Aronofsky.
yes, yes, yes. And then Sony bought the rights to it, and I believe it's in development to be made as a feature film. And he might be the youngest person ever to sign a deal with Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I mean, granted, like it was a 1% type of project, like put a lot of money and time into that. Kid is clearly very talented.
Mm-hmm. But it just goes to show that with a platform like YouTube,
Wait, so the way you said YouTube, you said it like I'm sponsored the platform like YouTube.
With a platform like YouTube, with a platform like YouTube, though, it just shows that putting out your film as a last resort could get bought by Sony. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's pretty insane.
So you have an acting agent, right?
I do. I'm with Melissa Rock at Filmcom Talent. I'm also with M Models and Sweetheart Elite in Los Angeles.
And but you had an agent before, right? That you don't have to name.
I did.
So what was it like getting your first agent, and how did that shape your idea of how the business of acting should be, and kind of what it turned into like while you were with them?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people just have the idea that you need to have a headshot and you need to have a resume and then you need to just have an agent. You know what I mean? And realistically, like, the agent comes with experience. Like, it's nowadays I find it's a lot harder to find an agent, especially if you don't have experience. I know probably back in like the 90s or 80s and stuff like that, I'm sure if you're super good looking, an agency might be like, we're going to throw you in showbiz, kid. You know, like, you got the looks. But I feel like now you need experience. And even when I was in school in Los Angeles, I thought that too. I had the same idea in my head. I was like, I got to start looking for agencies. I got to look for agencies. I was like, I'm in school. I'm in theater school. Like, I haven't even done anything. Like, it's.
Why did you have that notion? Was it people in your class?
I just think that you think obviously agents are gonna get you roles. Like, they know people. They're gonna get your foot in the door. Like, there's more opportunity. But you gotta try and find ways on your own first, because like nowadays a lot of agents won't look at you if you don't have any experience whatsoever. But having an agent, you learn a lot. And recently switching to another agent, after a while in the industry, if you're not getting any like roles or anything, you need to rebrand, which is what I just went through. And it was not necessarily because I wasn't getting a lot of roles, but just because you grow up, your look changes, stuff like that. So you should consistently be getting new headshots. But casting directors are also super busy, so they don't have time to look through resumes, to look through reels. So you need to simplify everything.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I got to a stage where, humbly, in a humble way, I had all my experience and training listed out on like 4 pages. My resume was 4 pages. And my agency, once I switched over, they were like, you got to simplify this. Like, 1 or 2 pages. Like, 1 page if you can. If it doesn't fit, we can have 2. But just have everything there for them, you know? Like, have your age, have your measurements, your name, film and television, and just have everything listed, you know what I mean? Because they don't have time to go through everything. They just want to see it quick. They want to see what you've done, and they want to move on. Have you heard about the celebrity lookalike challenges?
I've seen some of them. Yeah.
Have you seen the Timothée Chalamet one? So in New York, they held a celebrity lookalike challenge for Timothée Chalamet.
Okay.
And everybody showed up in, I think it was Times Square or Central Park, some meeting area. But everybody was a Timothée Chalamet lookalike. And then Timothée Chalamet actually showed up.
Really?
And recently I saw yesterday that they did one for Miles Teller too in like Philadelphia. But I wanted to know if anybody has ever said you look like a celebrity. And if so, like, which celebrity? Have you ever gotten that?
I've gotten, yeah, but they're people I don't know the names of, and they're like usually bald people. They're like they're fun. They're weird looking bald people.
Spill the beans.
I don't know the name.
Spill the beans.
I don't know the. I'm trying to think. No, I don't. I have the names of them. Probably because I was insulted. Like I've been sent some pictures, and it wasn't like it wasn't like an A-lister. It was like you look like this like supporting character in this, and some like funny looking guy. I was like, yeah, no, I don't associate with that.
Bad
With that
question
person.
then, eh?
Yeah, but yeah,
Sorry to
sensitive.
bring that up.
What about you? Have people said that you look like, or you look like?
The main one that I got from my agent, my first agent when I first joined with them, was Hugh Grant.
Mm.
I got a young Hugh Grant. Never seen The Office, but I get Ryan from The Office.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. I think those are the only like two main ones. One time I got Steve Nash, and I was like, I don't know, buddy. I don't know.
No.
But yeah, those are the three. What's your favorite character type? Like when you're watching a film, is there a certain type of character that sticks out to you? Whether it's like comes with a certain genre?
I would say in comedy, probably the just naive one, the one who doesn't really know what's going on, but because of that, it's quite funny. Like doesn't read that, like has their own situation to it. Like what I'm thinking of is the world. This is the end. No, yeah, this is the end. It's like a comedy movie with all the
Seth
and,
Rogen.
And Danny McBride is in it, and he's like drinking all the water and like eating all the food and the rations, and he has like he thinks he did something nice making everyone food. Everyone's like, this is like all the food we have.
Yeah,
and he's just sitting there
Danny McBride's hilarious,
drinking all the water, using the
that's a super funny like character type.
Yeah,
like the person that just or doesn't understand social cues.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
the social cues.
Lucifer.
Yes.
Like he's very like comedic in a way that it's just like he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
That comes across super funny.
What's your character type?
Yeah, probably the same. I think that I have two favorite character types, but that's probably one of mine as well. Is someone that doesn't understand social cues, and it's like it's very comedic in a way. I love that, but also someone. I think it's also so interesting. I think we touched on it a bit last episode, but a villainous character that has like an empathetic side. You know, like that's so intriguing to me when it's like I really hate this guy, but like why do I feel bad for him?
Yeah.
You know? Like
have you heard anything about the Penguin recently? Or have you seen it?
The only thing I heard, but I don't know if it's real news, but I heard that he signed like a 3-movie deal.
Oh really?
With Batman.
Oh. I didn't know that. I just finished watching the show like a few weeks ago, and he is that villainous, empathetic character.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah. First of all, was it crazy? And spoilers for you too. I mean, there'll be light spoilers, but the whole movie, the whole TV show, he's doing like really horrible things, but he's latched onto a few people that kind of bring him down to earth and show like his heart, so you get it. And then at the end, he, pretty much, to put it lightly, eliminates one of those things that was grounding him the whole thing, like one of those people that you thought they were going to be like together forever for. And I didn't realize it was the last episode, so I was pissed off. I was like, why do I want to watch this anymore? The one thing that was making you likable and allowing me to have empathy for you, you like got rid of. So I'm not really interested anymore. Now you're just kind of like a piece of shit, like as far as the character that I'm watching. But it ended up that was the finale, so it was like there's no more to watch. So I was like, okay, I guess that makes like sense to put it there. But yeah, I would say Colin Farrell played that character very well as far as being able to do like really horrible things, but keeping the audience.
But you feel for him.
Yeah, you feel for him.
Yeah.
So you kind of get why he's doing like the really horrible things.
Yeah, I think Joker has a lot of that too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he has all those issues and was like tormented for so long that he just like lashes out, and it's like you feel for the guy, but he's also doing these horrible things.
Mm-hmm. Which Joker is your favorite, Heath Ledger or Joaquin Phoenix?
I mean, I'd be crazy to not say Heath Ledger, but I love Joaquin's Joker, and it's more impactful to me just because the time of life that I watched it at. Heath Ledger's Joker to me was like, it was the best Joker. Like the way he played it was like amazing. Everybody's gonna hate me for this, but I'm not a big Batman guy. So Joaquin Phoenix's Joker stuck out to me more because it was a completely separate story, a completely different character, and just the acting in that alone, like, was super inspirational to me and motivational. And before I would do like any of my films, when I was prepping for all my films and that, it was one of those movies that I'd go back and watch like all the time, just because I thought his performance was insane.
Which Joker?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, but I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker has to be the best.
Yeah, that's my
That's
favorite
yours?
one personally. What did you think about the second Joker with Joaquin Phoenix? I know you saw that, right?
Yeah.
I was not fortunate enough to see that film.
Well, you were fortunate enough. No, I'm kidding. No, it was a good movie. It was very well made. I just don't think it was well written.
It was a musical.
So it was a musical, which I do like musicals. They're good.
Mm-hmm.
But incorporate the musical
Mm-hmm.
in the film. Like, I didn't like how it would cut from a scene to a different scene of them singing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, I'm fine with, like, if you're in a chaotic situation and you're like, there was no killing, there was no Joker. You know what I mean? The way I classified it was Joker and mental health.
Mm.
Second movie was very Joker. First movie was very mental health.
Mm.
I wanted a bit more mental health in the second movie, like, to balance it out. You know what I mean? He was more comedic, and he wasn't as like crazy, which is like what you want to see. And it would have been fine if he was like beating someone's head off and started singing. I'd have been all for it.
Right, but there's no beating anyone.
But when he cracks a joke and then it cuts out and they're on stage tap dancing, I'm like, what are we doing here? You know?
Yeah. Was it like a character analysis more of, or not even?
Maybe. I think maybe they were just trying to make a more comic Joker film, where, or go a separate direction from the first one. When I think they should have just, you know, like a lead acting Oscar. It's probably safe to say we should stick to what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
I saw
that happens.
a clip when they were premiering it, and it was Joaquin and Lady Gaga, and they were getting the standing ovation, and there was like a lip reader telling us like what they were saying, and she thought that he was saying like it's so bad, like it's
I
so
saw
bad.
that.
And then Lady Gaga was like, no, it's not, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
All right, so before we wrap this up, let's say the filmmaking gods come down and grant you with the opportunity to create your own film, and you get to cast 2 humans off of this earth to put them in your film. What genre is this film going to be? Who are these 2 people? And do you have an idea of like what the story would be with these people? It's a lot of pressure. Whatever you speak, this could come into existence. So
that is a tough question. I can speak this into existence. So this could be kind of like a manifesting way. If that's the way, can I pick 3 people?
yes.
Is that okay, or is that breaking the rules?
No.
I'm just making new rules.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so 3 people. It is going to be a A24 directed drama film about a guy who will be played by me.
Oh, you're the third person?
I am the third person, since we're manifesting this and putting it into the air. And the 2 people that would be playing my parents will be Meryl Streep and Daniel Day-Lewis in an A24 dramatic film starring myself, Liam Bell, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Meryl Streep.
Wow.
That's a film.
What's the story about?
That is a film.
Do you know what it's about yet or
I
not?
don't know what the film's about yet.
Okay.
I haven't been given the offer, A24. So, but think about that. Okay, how about yourself? What would be... who would be your 3 if you're putting yourself in there?
Oh, man.
If not, you can just pick 3.
All right, I got it. Off the top of my head, we're going Brendan Fraser.
Okay.
Jim Carrey.
Wow.
Me.
Okay.
It's a dramatic comedy about 3 long-distance friends who have never met before but come together through a video game, and they come together because one of their beloved gamer friends has recently suffered a loss in his life. He lost his father, and the friends that I've never met but have been playing this game together for 5 years, Brendan Fraser, Jim Carrey, I'm the protagonist, main protagonist. They come down and we all meet, and we go to this funeral. And it's a sad time, but we find true meaning in friendship and in technology, and we all move in together, and we set up little consoles, and we just play games and find love and start a community in our town, and it's kind of this beautiful story of friendship and loss and unlikely acquaintances.
What about life becoming a game? Or an alternate reality. An alternate reality where you guys go into the game and the person that you lost can still be alive with you today.
So okay, yeah. Let me take that back. So these guys aren't just playing Fortnite. These guys are like, this is 20 years in the future. They're not playing Fortnite. They're kicked back in the recliners, ripping Metaverse. Okay.
Yep.
And this world is fully developed, and these guys know each other. They see each other like they're avatars, right? So
they see each other on the game.
Yeah.
But then when a loss comes in their family, they come together and they're able to relive all their best moments and worst moments through the game. Maybe. Got two good movies right there. So, if anybody's watching and wants to make these movies,
could you imagine?
Let us know.
Could you imagine?
Let us know.
All right. Cool. Anything else?
No, I think.
To say before we wrap up number 2.
I think we covered it all.
Any more cool accents you want to try?
Thank you. Thank y'all for listening and tuning in today. We'll be back with another one tomorrow. See ya.
That was good. Thank you for watching, listening, and
that'll never happen again.